Game of Thrones season 7 has literally just finished. You've either seen it or you haven't seen it.
If you haven't seen it, then don't bother watching any of this.
This is really a spoiler video. So many spoilers. Spoilers in your face.
Spoilers.
I'm gonna spoil the fucking thing.
Okay. A little bit controversial, but I think this was probably the worst season out of all the 7 seasons so far.
I agree with you.
That's really?
You know I do.
It's not like we talk to each other. It's lost its way, man. Game of Thrones lost its way. Yeah. It's definitely one that's being written by HBO, and it's not being. I mean, it's probably getting some source material info from George R.R. Martin.
Apparently
but
it is.
Aside from that, the plots they feel like they're being written by amateur writers. It's all really like it's predictable now. And it's lost that edge, that edginess of it, the thing that made me really enjoy Game of Thrones in especially the first 3 seasons. There's like a level of unpredictability, and you're sitting there going, who's going to cough it up this week? And it feels like everything is kind of like planned to perfectly now to kind of make the story go to its ultimate conclusion, which is the fight between the dead and the living and all that nonsense.
I think the interesting thing for me is that there's some of the episodes were like, in my opinion, the best episodes I've ever done. But I agree with what you say. It's you can feel that George R.R. Martin's not there. They're so scared of killing main characters. And this entire before they would just kill anyone. You never knew. Like they were like I've said this before, but like. I think it was like when they killed Joffrey, it was such a surprise to me. Yeah. Like the Red Wedding and stuff like that, when it's just like you don't see it coming. But now this one, they kind of go, we're gonna kill them. Oh, we don't kill them. Oh, we're gonna kill them. We don't kill them. The last minute saves was never a thing Game of Thrones ever did, and now it's like someone's about to die, and then someone will miraculously come and save them, and it's like it's Hollywood now. It feels
Hollywood,
like it's
pure Hollywood,
pure Hollywood. Instead of this brutal, incestuous, no loyalty to any character, like. Filthy, almost pornographic, violent thing it used to be. Now it's like, there's White Walkers and they're killing millions of them and no one's actually dying and it's just safe, so safe.
I think that's like the White Walkers and all that. That's obviously like part of the whole story, but it's the fact that they're now like. It feels like it's being written for a much younger audience that it was initially pitched to. Yeah. So like the first 3 seasons, it was very graphic and very like sexual. The sexual nature with it was strong. Yeah. Like there was hardly an episode where you go by where you just didn't see something a bit like.
There were tits all over the place.
Oh, it was all
and now there's like no tits at all.
Now it's just like really soft.
Where's the tits, man?
I feel like up until season 5, they were really like on it.
Well, that's exactly when George R.R. Martin. It was season 6 and season 7. Yeah. That was the first ones where the outside writers started taking stuff that were advised by him, but they're not in the books. And you can tell. Yeah, straight away you can tell.
I feel like there's a lot of exec pleasing in these last 2 seasons because of the money that's invested, and obviously the characters, with Jon Snow and Daenerys and Cersei and Jaime Lannister and Tyrion and all them, because like they're so well loved now by the fans. Execs are almost calling the shots whether they want to keep them or not. Don't kill this character. In order to ensure that there's still popularity for season 8.
Such a mistake.
And I think that's like their biggest mistake. Is once money starts coming into the mix and people's interests influence the writing, that's when you start losing.
The money was always there, but the thing is, they had to be true to the books, and the books were just brutal. They did not give a fuck. And now that suddenly it's like now it's in your control. Now they're like, whoa, we can't kill him. We can't kill him. And we give him. But whereas George R.R. Martin would be like, murder literally everyone.
Yeah, he would have killed him.
Okay, the Ginger Wildling would have died.
Exactly. Yeah,
he should have died.
He's just like a fan favorite now, so like he's kind of like immortalized.
Yeah, I know. It's so stupid. Like, and it's like, and it's not even a big character. It's like, the small, like they were just being so pathetic. Like killing Littlefinger was just like, okay, here you go.
We're overdue killing a bad guy.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I was afraid at the beginning, but then now there's Littlefinger. Yeah. What made me really like dislike this series? What kind of summed up this series for me though? Was definitely, I think it was episode 1. It was that fucking cameo that fucking Ed Sheeran.
That's when you
Hunt
knew
of a cameo.
it's gone
the
down.
most pointless. Like
Yeah.
it didn't progress the story. It did absolutely nothing. And then they missed a fucking trick in that moment because like it was Aya was walking and she sees him and he's singing his poxy fucking song. That's why they got him in there. And then they're like sitting there and they're all the Lannister soldiers, but they're all really nice and they're having like a bit of rabbit and they're sharing. And then I'm like, surely she's gonna kill them all because these guys represent the tyrannical regime that killed her father. But no, nothing. There was nothing came about it, and I was just like, this is exactly what Game of Thrones is now. Fucking Ed Sheeran, who can't fucking act for shit. What's really getting me about like Game of Thrones now is less about Game of Thrones, but the people watching Game of Thrones. It's become an event for everyone to sit there and fucking type away that I'm watching Game of Thrones. Oh my God, I can't believe it. And it's like, calm the fuck down. You've just watched a really shit episode. How can you sit there and fucking bang on about how great it is when it was so fucking shit?
That's the thing, you can't tell the type of fans, because some people were like, that was amazing, and like the White Walkers, and they were all fighting the White Walkers, and people would die, and then the dragon came, and you're like, do you understand that was the most cliche writing you've ever seen in the history of fucking Game of Thrones?
Is it the first time anyone's ever seen a fucking dragon as well?
That's the
In
thing,
anything?
That's the point, it's like they played the dragon card, they played it on like the fourth episode, the fifth episode, it's like, dragon blowing fire, and then 2 episodes later they go, dragon blowing fire, it's like, well, this is going to be the future of Game of Thrones. Every time they want something epic, it's just going to be dragons blowing fire. They played their cards, it's and that's going to be 2 dragons, a White Walker dragon, and this other dragon, and then I mean, it has ended really well, though. I mean, I like it, the wall's fucking gone. That's
Oh, a chunk of the wall has. Not all of it.
They're going to go straight through that thing.
Yeah, they go, but they're right at the end. There'll be a lot of work having to do the whole fucking wall. So he just did like a little chunk at the end. He was just, there you go.
Yeah, that's what you need to do. No,
the easiest part is doing the walkers. Like there's no dialogue. It's pure action. Any idiot can like come up with a good action sequence.
Yeah.
The bits that like the last episode was good because it brought all the main characters together.
That was beautiful.
And it was dialogue driven. There was no like killing. There was barely anything. There's a lot of swearing, but other than that, like the dialogue itself. Let's have the right amount of extras to kill off before like the main characters are in danger, but then they get saved at the very last minute.
I don't think that's gonna happen. I reckon the next season's gonna be alright though, because that's the thing. As much as they're investing in these characters, the last season's the last season. They're gonna be like, well, fuck it.
Well, I mean, it depends entirely.
They're not all gonna survive. It's like they're gonna kill at least 5.
I know, but like it depends entirely on like whether George R.R. Martin will actually have something to release between now and then.
It doesn't matter. He's still so far behind. If he releases a book, he's not gonna catch up.
I feel like I feel my honest opinion was I would prefer if season 6 and 7 had not even been released.
It should have never happened.
They just held off and they say, finish your story, finish it, and then we will continue then. Because then you would like with the weight and the hype surrounding it, and then you would probably see something that actually is more truer to what he's got. What, waiting? Of course not, because there's money involved.
As well as like characters get older. I have a theory that George R.R. Martin is now sitting on such a big pile of money that when he picks up his pen and paper, he goes, "This is bigger than me, and I'm rich, and like why? I don't like this.
I hate this story.
Yeah. Wouldn't you hate it? You wrote your whole life on this thing, and that's all anyone is ever fucking talking about, and it's gone beyond your writing. You must kind of just be like, I hate Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And the truth is, I don't even like Game of Thrones. I don't like Game of Thrones. I'm over it. I'm over the hype. I'm over this season was rubbish. It was still cool. We have to see it to the end, as you said. There's one more to go. I will watch it, but it's fucked. It's completely ruined.
How I felt at the start of the season is definitely not how I feel now. There was a lot of hype and anticipation.
Yeah.
I was really looking forward to it, and then the first episode happened, and it was absolute fucking letdown. And then they kind of redeemed themselves with the next few.
Yeah, it's been very like this.
But like throughout the whole journey, I was just like, I could have literally written most of this myself.
I know.
Sitting there predicting almost every little thing.
And
that's not what I wanted.
This one's gonna die, another does.
No.
But this one's gonna die, another does.
Yeah,
and you're just like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, even if I'm into the very last minute, where like there's like you think, surely you're not going to kill Jamie. Surely you're not going to kill that.
I mean, that would have that would have given me. I would have given a whole extra point to the whole fucking season if they did that. If she ordered the fucking kill on Jamie, because Jamie as well. That's 2 narrow escapes for Jamie because he got saved. That's a narrow escape for Daenerys. Two last minute saves for Jon Snow. Plus he just somehow crawled out of that fucking hole when he was sinking. It's like. That is not what Game of Thrones does.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones doesn't even give them a chance. It kills them before you realize they're about to die.
Yeah, that was
the Red Wedding. Those were, you didn't even think. It was like boom, they're dead. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Now it's like bullshit. It's ruined. It's fucked. But it's still fun TV.
You just keep lapping it up. Just keep lapping it up.
But it's fun TV. It's fun TV.
It's
I do enjoy watching it. I enjoy the hype. I enjoy talking about it afterwards.
I do.
It's worth watching.
I do. I feel like the culture on social media has definitely kind of like it ruins the buzz for me because all it is, like I say, I mean, people celebrating mediocrity now. They're just celebrating like predictive writing. They're celebrating. Celebrating poor fucking acting and cameos.
Because there's dragons. Oh my god, there's dragons.
And like the dragons are the least interesting thing in it for me.
They're pretty cool. But
what was really interesting about Game of Thrones for me is the politics and the intrigue and the backstabbing.
Exactly.
That's what gets me. It's like the like explicit taboo subjects and the sex behind it and like how promiscuous like life is on that world. And now it's just suddenly turned into maybe just a bit more of a dirtier version of Lord of the Rings. You know, it's going too safe for me.
It's so sad.
Like you can now watch it with your children and you know, but like before you were just like fuck no.
I watched it like.
I mean, they're throwing a cunt and a fuck and like now and again, and occasionally they'll have like a steamy sex scene. But other than that, we'll watch it till the very end. We'll stick by it just because I guess we've fucking invested in it now.
I've basically written off. I don't like Game of Thrones anymore that much, but it was good TV. I was entertained, but it was the worst season. I'm gonna give it. I don't know. It's so hard. I think I'd give it a 6.
6.
Yeah, 6.
There's gonna be 8 weeks of predictability, and dragons and killing dead people, and I mean, I think the only thing that's really kind of like Cersei's the saving grace.
Cersei's the best character
in the whole show because she's the one who's gonna really like fuck everyone up.
It's man, I think it's just
bitter.
She's the best.
Horrid person.
She is the best. She is the only thing worth watching this fucking show for now.
But aside from that, I mean,
I
think like this season is massive letdown compared to like the previous 5. Overall, I mean, barring maybe 2 or 3 decent episodes. I think it wasn't as enjoyable as I wanted it to be, so I would give it a 4.
4?
Yeah.
Damn. I still had fun.
I had fun. I had great fun. I thought it was great. Last step, fun.
Yeah.
That was a definite that was a solid 7.58 for me. That ep.
Yeah.
But that will not absolve this series for all the crimes it is committed against. Like, you know, all the faux pas with the writing, the last minute saves. I can't stand that shit, man. Like someone said, and how like they go from A to B and like you go from one fucking place and then like you know it's the other place like 2,000 miles away and they're there.
It took Arya 4 seasons to do that journey.
I know.
And then they go, back there. And Arya's like, how are you doing this? How are you doing this?
Like they just start walking up the fucking past the wall and like into the north, and then like cut to Sansa going, "It's been 3 weeks." Oh, well, I guess you just explained the time for me there in one fucking sentence.
You can see
Thanks, I didn't know it was 3 weeks since we just saw those last people like 3 seconds ago.
I reckon the Rise are just shitting themselves. They know it's dodgy work. They're just going, I don't know, fucking anything.
3 weeks later.
Anyway.
All right, so there you have it. Season 7 of Game of Thrones is now available to watch or stream
illegally
for absolutely nothing. Maybe you'll get a letter in the post warning you not to do it again. But hey, gotta live, don't you? Okay, so We might do it. I don't know if we'll do this again.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. See you next time.